Hello, Tiger fans. Thanks for tuning in for a new week of Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we take a look around Tiger and Lady Tiger basketball, starting with the women's program. Campbellsville's top-ranked Lady Tigers in action this past week at home against Southeastern, and then Stevens College this past Saturday. The head coach, Ginger High Colvin, joins me. Coach, always fun to be back at the Powell Center. You guys took the trip down to Kingsport. You get back home, get some contests under your belt, and it's a couple of nice basketball teams that were really able to push you guys and make you work for it.
You know, the Rio game in Kingsport and then coming back with those two games was really good for us, and just to kind of test where we are, what we need to be doing. But just playing at home too is always such a nice change for us.
You know, and some teams jumped out of the blocks and got a lot of games in. You can look down the stat list and the NAI, and you see some teams already have double-digit games and all of that. You're hitting a stretch in your schedule now, right there at Kingsport, and then back home for two. You've got Indiana Wesleyan coming this week. 4 games. Well, a lot of teams are going to be done. You're going to have 4 games left before the Christmas break, so it's really ramping up for you guys.
And I like that because you don't just have that drought. And I think sometimes you have that drought and you have to come back and condition again and go through things again. It's not a terrible gauntlet, but we're still playing and hopefully staying in shape and staying crisp.
Let's talk about the win over Southeastern, 80-55. The Lady Tigers pick up the win. It's a Southeastern bunch, Coach, that has had some really good teams over the last several years. They've undergone a coaching change or two, trying to, I don't know, steady that program. Coach Neal's jumped in, and he's been around the Mid-South Conference at Thomas More. And I think he'll get them going the right way. They've got some holdovers from that roster. Becky Klaudiev and Rebecca Cook, they had the 2 nice games offensively for the Fire this past week.
Yes, and he does such a great job with them defensively as much as anything. And I think that was probably the best defensive test we've had this year. The first half we were a little stagnant with what we did. Came in, talked about it, got our breath at halftime, and I thought came out the second half and did a much better job. But he's got some athletes, got length. And again, just different types of teams that we need to see, and I feel like we overall handled it well, but he's doing a great job with them.
And you were able to take the kind of young in the post, and you guys were able to maybe take advantage of that a little bit. Caitlin Wilkes had a nice day. Kayla Luby as well, really kind of helping to spark that offense. I know Wilkes may have felt like she missed some shots that she would normally make in her sleep, and maybe that's just because she spoiled us last year, the reigning Conference Player of the Year. But what they've been able to do for you down inside really opens everything else up for some of those shooters out on the edge.
Well, and you talk about a 1-2 punch. That's a 1-1 punch. Kayla Luby's playing as well as anybody in the country right now, and I'm hopeful that it takes pressure off of Caitlin. They do a great job. They're different. Kit Kat's a little bit more finesse, where Kayla is just more strength, and she goes in there. So to have to deal with them for 40 minutes, I think, is a pretty big feat for anybody, and to have to deal with their differences, I think it's a big feat. But man, they're playing extremely well for us, and it opens everything else up.
And then we do want to mention that Bailey Pettigo went down in that matchup with Southeastern. She was unavailable on Saturday, and Coach, I know you've been working through trying to get information on that, and they had, you know, x-rays and MRIs done almost immediately, it felt like, but, you know, B is down for a bit, but hopefully not out.
She's down but not out. I'm never going to count her out. She does have a pretty significant ankle injury, not a break, so we're thrilled with that, and going to go through some rehab, just some rest, and hopefully by the time conference rolls around, she'll be ready to go. She's going to be in shape. She's going to do all those things that she has to do off, and then Derek Porter, our trainer, will have her in the best possible shape when it's time. So it's going to be a learning curve for us because she does so much for us, but we've got her there on the bench, and just not having her on the floor is different, but we're going to muddle through it and hopefully get her back and good to go.
The Lady Tigers got a win over Stevens College on Saturday. As we take a look at some of the numbers from that matchup, it was the first time in 41 games that Campbellsville would change their starting lineup due to the injury to Pettigo. They got an 89-62 win, so it worked out okay. Caitlin Wilkes, 22-8 for Campbellsville. Lauren Lee had 18, 5 assists and 4 steals. And Whitney Hay kind of flirted with the triple-double there, Coach. 8 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists for Whitney Hay. I think we're maybe starting to see her scratch the surface of what type of player she is going to be for you guys. She's certainly a handful for opposing teams, and you can see not only is she able to score it, the other day she was really sharing the basketball.
Yeah, and if you watch, I'm pretty hard on Whitney because Whitney is very gifted, very, very talented, and she's an unselfish player. So there's so many things that she's doing well for us. She has no idea how good she can be at this point, and when she starts playing at that level and playing consistently at that level, she's going to be a handful. She's a handful already, but she's going to continue just to create issues and create problems for others. But right now, the thing she's bringing to the table as much as anything is her unselfishness, and obviously she has length and athleticism, so I'm really pleased with how she's doing.
Rewind in the memory vault here, Coach. You go back, I don't know, 5-6 years now. There was a young lady from Byrdstown, Tennessee that played at Pickett County High School that was kind of a tweener. She wanted to be a Lady Tiger. You relented somewhere along the way, fine, and now all these years later, she started more games for you than anyone in Lady Tiger history. Courtney Pritchett, that's pretty cool stuff.
Courtney Pritchett, I mean, I can't, we could spend a whole show on her just for what she brings to our program. She's made other players incredible for us, and she's so unselfish. She's shooting the ball probably as well as anybody in the country right now. She passes the ball. She makes big plays. Yeah, that's just a kid that she was the steal of the century. There's no doubt about it, and I'm so glad she's here.
I think even the other day, I can't imagine freshman Courtney Pritchett doing this. I think the other day she hit a 3, and she even did, she kind of maybe holstered the gun.
Oh, no. I did not know that. We'll have to check that out.
We'll have to see if we can find that. But I'm pretty sure she did something. Anyway, we'll check on that. Anyway, the Lady Tigers top 5 matchup coming up this week. They've got Indiana Wesleyan coming to the Powell Center on Saturday. We'll step away, come back, and talk with the head coach about that one. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Thanks for staying with us here on Tiger Timeout as we continue to look at Lady Tiger basketball. Matt Payton with you on the CU Sports Network. Campbellsville's Lady Tigers will interplay Saturday against the number 3 ranked team in the country, Indiana Wesleyan. The Lady Tigers at the 8-0 mark, and Coach Indiana Wesleyan has played a tough schedule out of the gate. These top 5 regular season matchups, top 10 regular season matchups, and you're going to have a few of those with some of the way some of these conference teams are playing and stuff of that nature. But they're just really fun. They're fun to be a part of. You obviously want to win them. But for me, sitting on the sideline and all of the Lady Tiger fans, but you get a team in here. Coach Whaley's done a terrific job over the last 7 years since taking over that program. They've got a terrific player in Lily Frazier and Jordan Reed. They've got nice pieces for Indiana Wesleyan. These are the ones that prepare you for where you want to be come March.
Yeah, and it's a horse race. Those kids get out and go, crazy athletic bunch, and they all shoot the ball well, they defend well, and like you said, I'm sure it's going to be fun for a lot of people. It's not fun for me and Hootie right now trying to prepare for them, but it's great for us just to see where our top 3 matchup is incredible, and it'll show us, and I'm sure both teams are looking forward to it, just to kind of gauge what we need to do and where we need to be.
And to his credit, Coach Whaley and Indiana Wesleyan, they've played a very
tough schedule.
They went early in the year out to Montana, and they knocked off top 10 Carroll out of the gate, then dropped one to Providence. I don't think Frazier played in the first 2 games of the season for them, though, so she was unavailable. So they knocked off Carroll without her, did lose to Providence. That's their only loss as they come to Campbellsville. So they are battle-tested as you guys are.
Because you go to the Frontier and you go to the Mid-South, that's a lot. That's a lot for out-of-conference season, and they don't mind to go play. Providence and Carroll are two of the best teams in the country. Carroll's a top 5 team probably. So we've got to make sure we get out and play our best. We want to play our best. We want to play our best at home. We have to go up there next year. So we want to make sure we are as clean and as prepared as we can be.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers that will make up this matchup from Saturday. It's a 2 o'clock start time in the Powell Athletic Center. Campbellsville 8-0 on the season. 98 points a game, that's second in the nation. Then you look at Indiana Wesleyan, 7-1. They actually will play, as we record this on a Tuesday, it'll air Wednesday. They play tonight against Indiana University Northwest, I believe. So we'll see if that changes at all, and that they go to Gary, Indiana for that one, and then make the trip down on Saturday. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they handle the travel, where they're at in their final schedule. I know that's a big thing for you guys right now. So a lot with Indiana Wesleyan at the moment. They don't have the extra couple of days to get started.
Right, and I think too, finals is not as dramatic as it used to be because kids can do online. A lot of times kids are finished before finals week. The professors will throw that in. So I don't think it's as grueling. Finals week is still hard because you're out of your schedule. I do hate it that we're playing them when our students can't be there, when we have a bigger crowd, but we'll be prepared. This is the first time we've had a break to actually work on some things in a while, so we're excited about that.
Yeah, you get a week off, and once you kind of got rolling, you haven't had that time. And what's that look like before the first balancing, the first maybe couple of days before you really start to dig in on Indiana Wesleyan? Because it's kind of like a final. You don't want to over prepare, and then by the time you get to Thursday or Friday, you're almost flushing the information.
Yesterday we came in and worked on us. We did a lot of conditioning up and down the floor with the basketball, a lot of shooting, just worked on our stuff. And today we'll do a lot more of the same. The girls probably won't know it, but we will throw some of their stuff in there, how to defend a screen or how to do some of that stuff, but we won't pinpoint any of that. And then tomorrow we'll start settling in on them and throwing a few pieces of them, maybe a few of their sets in and go that way.
And do you talk about, obviously, the little bitty number to the left of Indiana Wesleyan, the number 3? Will you guys talk about that much, or is it just another opponent? Obviously, you want them to know it's important. It's a big game, but you don't want to overemphasize it.
Yeah, we don't talk about that number beside of us. I think we've talked about it one time, and that was it, and we won't talk about it anymore because we know it really doesn't matter. I know it puts a target on our back. They have a target on their back. But when in the end you have to throw the ball up and you have to play, and those numbers do not matter.
And for the Lady Tigers, you got to make sure they're not looking ahead to that trip south. You got a big one in front of you prior to going down to Miami and Puerto Rico in a few weeks. We've got one Tiger timeout remaining before we'll take a Christmas holiday. And Coach, we got to close with the most important information of the week. Was there a conversation at the Colvin household about Kobe and his lack of officiating skills?
I think he let you down.
He let me down.
Yeah, and I asked him about it, and he's convinced that Clark did drag his pivot foot.
Well, he may have.
He calls him like he sees him, but and we did have to talk about maybe just giving him just
a little slack, a little grace for the first grader, Kobe. Exactly. I mean, that's all, like Kobe and C.J. Johnson, who C.J.'s cousin's Duran Elmore, who's at Taylor County, and Clark's taking baseball. So we walk out there, and you got C.J. and Kobe. I'm like, Clark's in good shape.
He's in the free throw line all night,
and then he gets popped for the travel right out of the gate. So I've never been so disappointed in Colvin in all my life.
We'll work on it.
Keep doing that for me. Anyway, the Lady Tigers in action. They've got a big one on Saturday against Indiana Wesleyan. If you're around Tiger Town, come out and support the Powell Athletic Center. 2 o'clock, the start time. Coverage begins at 1:45 on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. We'll step away here, take a quick break, come back and visit with the head coach of Tiger basketball, Brent Vernon, here on Tiger Timeout.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
It took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Welcome back to Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we turn our attention over to the Tigers. The Tiger basketball team had a week off, sort of, kind of. They didn't play an actual regular season contest, but they certainly got out onto the court. The exhibition matchup at Western Kentucky with the Hilltoppers. The head coach, Brent Vernon, joins me now. And Coach, we've talked about this. This has really become kind of a staple for your schedule, and it's been kind of hit or miss on the schedule, how early you can get it in, where you push it back to. This most recent meeting for the Hilltoppers, a regular season game for you guys, an exhibition, and one that came with some adversity as we've grown to expect. 101-77, the final score there in favor of the Hilltoppers. But your guys played extremely hard for 40 minutes in a tough environment. It's a big arena, and I know a lot of them kind of look forward to that, maybe a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They certainly had fun and played hard.
We did. Obviously, 101 is a little too many points to give up. I don't care who you're playing, but they've got a nice team. They play really fast, so there's a lot of possessions in the game. But our guys competed. I thought for 32, 33 minutes, we did a really nice job. We had a lull late in the first half where some of it was us, some of it was fatigue, a lot of it was Western. And then we, again, the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game, and that was more, I think, fatigue than anything. But I really thought we did a nice job for 30, 32 minutes of that game last week. Yeah,
and early they kind of gapped you a little bit. They got up double digits in the first, 8 to 10 minutes. Then you guys went on a run. You made that a 27-25 basketball game after they had hit a few threes, and we had talked about it. They weren't a great three-point shooting team entering play. They found a way to knock down some big shots there on Wednesday. But you guys made that run, and it really felt like, oh boy, this is going to be a war for a bit here. And it was, but then they were able to kind of gap you again, and there were some tired faces the last 5 minutes or so.
There were. But I think, whenever we made our run, it at least let them know, okay, we're here. We got to play. It's not one of those things where they're just going to coast. They played early, and it was, I wouldn't say a wide-eyed effect, but that happens a lot in these Division I games. But we settled down. We ran our offense as well. We got great shots. We made some shots. Like you said, they were 24% or something as a team. Tyrone Marshall was 0 for 8 going in the game and makes his first 3 to start. And that's the way it goes sometimes. And as a coach, you sort of have a gut feeling it may happen. But our guys responded well. We made a good run. Then they made a run. Then second half, it was sort of back and forth early, and then we made a run to cut it to single digits. So really proud of our guys for really just taking the task at hand, taking the challenge, and making the most out of every opportunity we had.
As we take a look at some of the numbers from the matchup with Western Kentucky last week, Campbellsville again falling 101-77. That'll go as a regular season victory for the Hilltoppers. For the Tigers, you'll look back and it never happened. Kobe Penny paced Campbellsville with 21 points. Jace Wallace had 19, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Tyrell Hunt had the mid-range game on full display there, Coach. We've seen this over the first couple of months of the season here, a month or so, I guess, of the season. And, man, it looked really nice against Western. It's got that high arch on it, so it's tough for them to do anything with defensively, and it was good to see a few of those go in for him.
It was, and Tyrell's really done a nice job here lately of not hunting shots, letting the offense flow and come to him. And, we had a feeling that he could potentially have a good game. Again, as a coach, as a staff, sometimes you had those gut feelings. You look at Kobe. I thought Kobe was really good, but this is no new thing for him playing at Bellarmine. They played against really good competition there, so he's been in the big arena, the big stages. It was really nice to see Jace get out there and play well. I mean, he had the game 2 weeks ago where he almost had the triple-double. And then you look at this, it's not just going out and scoring. He was doing it all again. Very well-rounded game, made some shots, just very, very disciplined in the way his approach was. So a lot of guys battled. We had to give something up, And for us, we didn't want them to be all at the rim. So if they were going to beat us, it was going to be from the three-point line. And for the most part, they did that. But, there's a lot of positives. We got in there and rebounded with them, and actually it was only -1. So playing against those big, strong, athletic guys, there's so much that comes out of this game.
Yeah, and their top two scorers, Rodney Howard and Don McHenry, you guys did a really good job on them, held them in check. Howard grabbed a few points late, but it was Christian Lander, and you mentioned Tyrone Marshall and some of those other guys, so they were able to kind of find a way to get it done in the scoring column, and it didn't get any easier on you with Darius Harding going out, 10 to 12 minutes into that basketball game, bangs the hand, and now all of a sudden you look down what is already a short bench for you guys. You had more guys maybe in street clothes than you had available to actually sub into the basketball game. And I know you looked over at me in the middle and Darius walks out and you're kind of grinning like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And you're just, it's unfortunate, but man, if you have him out there, who knows how things may have been a little different.
Right. Anytime you got a scorer like Darius, it gives you another weapon, another opportunity. I really thought guys like Cameron Willis, Kobe picked up some scoring. I thought Jordan Graham did a nice job. Everybody picked up the slack, which is what you want. We hope Darius is okay. We're still sort of waiting on news from that. I don't think it's something that'll be season ending, but it could be something that lingers for a couple weeks. And again, it could be something where he's out there next Monday. We're just not sure. Playing it sort of not safe, but very cautiously. Whenever you look down and you only got 8 guys then on the bench, 9 guys, and 7 of them are scholarship guys, it is depleted. But we've done such a great job with a mentality this year from our whole team of accepting what's happened, not making excuses and battling, and we're willing to continue to do that and try the best we can to make the best of every opportunity.
Tigers still have a few more days before they get back in action. Voorhees on the 11th of December. We'll step away, come back, and we will preview that matchup with the head coach here as Campbellsville takes on Voorhees December 11th in the Powell Center. Stay with us on Tiger Timeout.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
Closeout segment of Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton visiting with the head coach of Tiger basketball, Brent Vernon. Campbellsville with a few days off before they return to play. Coach, it's been a crazy breakneck pace for you guys out of the gate, given the injuries. I'm sure that kind of makes it feel like it's been even more condensed. But you get some time off now. You get that exhibition with Western, and now you've got really almost 2 weeks. I mean, not quite, but you're getting close to 2 weeks, 10, 12 days or so. Walk me through what the last week or so has looked like, what the next 4 or 5 days will look like prior to getting into Voorhees.
Yeah, well, after Western, obviously, we took the next day off. Our guys are really tired, really beat up. Came in Friday and had just a great day of individuals with their guys, a lot of conditioning, a lot of shooting. Did it in small groups, and they really came ready to work, which was nice to see. Some coaches would really frown on this, and I gave them the weekend off. We had a lot of time. We had finals coming up. I thought it was a great time just to get them refreshed, re-energized. So we've been in finals this week. We practiced every day so far, but it's been a little scaled back as we prepare finals will really calm down tomorrow and Friday, and once they do that, we will ramp it back up and really start preparing more for Voorhees. But trying to get healthy, trying to get the guys who are healthy a little more refreshed so we can finish strong. We've only got the one game left before the break, and we'll stay after that game for the rest of that week until we let them go home, and then we'll be able to enjoy a nice break with our families and get ready for the second semester.
Let's walk through kind of the injury situation for you guys. Obviously, Marcellus Vale came in. You knew that you were going to be without him. Right out of the gate, Keyston Brown gets banged up, that wrist. No surgery, but that's an issue that's going to linger, correct? I mean, that's one, and he may not be available this year.
No, unless something changes, Keyston's going to redshirt. Yeah. He's made this decision, and I'm fully supportive. A senior wants to get as many games out of it as possible. Our goal is for whenever we get back from Christmas, that he is close to being cleared, where he didn't play in the 5 games. He has the redshirt year, but that will be able to get him out there practicing with us, and everybody we have is good. And obviously, the way Keyston goes about his business, it'll do nothing but make our unit better as we prepare for games in conference. So he, as of now, the plan is for a redshirt for Keyston.
And then Javon had a successful surgery by all accounts, so now he'll be attacking rehab in short order, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's already started and doing really well. Actually looking yesterday, went to look at him for the first time at the knee area during his rehab, and it's pretty gruesome. I mean, you have 4 incisions on the knee, which normally you only have 1 or 2. But that was how severe it was with the ACL, both meniscus and partially torn quad, which, again, every time I say it, I just sort of shake my head because
he did a good job on it.
I mean, non-contact and probably damaged it about as bad as you could. Yeah. But, again, his words to continue, Coach, I'll be ready. Don't worry about it. Next season I'll be ready when it gets there. And that's what I've been really impressed with about these guys that have been hurt. Their commitment to get in the training room and rehab, I'm super proud of those guys.
And then we touched briefly on Darius. Hopefully that's a little touch and go, but hopefully it's more, a week or 2, certainly not months. But then Cam Vick is the one that you're really up in the air on right now. You're trying to get as much information as possible. It's not that it's at a great time, but you do just have the one game. So he does have some time, but you're certainly seeking answers there.
Yeah, he's definitely out through Christmas. We're getting a second opinion. We had some news that it's not awful, but it's not good. Right now, it's more about Cam well-being, mental state, what he thinks is best for him moving forward. Again, it's sort of like Keyston. You want to get the most out of the opportunity that you can. And he's got a big decision to make. We'll sit down and discuss it as we get more details and see what the best thing for him is moving forward. I'm sure you'll see Cam in a Tiger uniform again. I just don't know exactly when. Yep.
The Tigers have the matchup with Voorhees. I know it's kind of like opening Pandora's box. Coach, once you open the scout and start to work on all this stuff with Voorhees, then you're really down that rabbit hole. So I know you're really focused on your bunch here, but you can see some of the numbers there. Voorhees 3-8 on the season. That may change. I'm not sure quite that their schedule is 100% accurate. They may be 3-9. I'm not sure. I don't want to hang on with the loss that they didn't receive, but you guys averaging about 87 points a game at 8-2, Coach, and you hope that that's a team coming from South Carolina. Long trip. Right here before the holidays. I know you want to pick up that 9th win going into the break Monday.
Yeah, we do. And the thing with the record is, I throw it out the door. They've played a really tough schedule. They went on the road and beat Lindsay earlier. They beat Toccoa Falls. They've played a good schedule. Coach Williams in his first year there is doing a nice job with a brand new roster. Take away 1 or 2 guys, but being a new coach, it's a brand new roster. They've got a really nice player in Willoughby who we're really going to have to make inefficient. The good part about that as we go into the game, we've been stuck with that scenario a lot this year of they've got a good scorer, a volume scorer. You've got to make inefficient. So we've done a really good job for the most part whenever we've played guys like that, and it's going to be the same kind of task on Monday night.
We'll have one more episode of Tiger Timeout before the Christmas break, and we certainly hope to be talking about one more Tiger win. Coach, best of luck on Monday.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The Tigers in action Monday, 4 o'clock the start time as they battle Voorhees in the Powell Athletic Center. The Lady Tigers, of course, still have Indiana Wesley at home on Saturday. That is a 2 o'clock start for the Lady Tigers in that top 5 matchup for the head coach, Brent Vernon, as well as the head coach of Lady Tiger basketball, Ginger High Colvin, Matt Payton, saying we'll see you next time on Tiger Timeout.